following program may contain coarse language, suggestive dialogue, and discussion of violent imagery and sexual situations. It is intended for mature listeners who can tell the difference between facts and opinions.
It's the mother of all backstories on this episode of the Toonami Faithful Podcast. I am your host, Sketch, and with me I have...
your occasional host, Kuro, who wishes that she had a little dose of the rain that we got to see for the past few episodes. And?
Tory Rider, who would also like some rain because there's a fire in our hills. Laser Kid.
And...
Steven, it's already raining here, so I hope you're jealous.
Yes.
And, you know, where I live, it's almost always raining. And it rained plenty this week.
Just brag about it, why don't you?
I will. So, this week we're covering Dragon Ball Daima and Bleach. Not really anything newsworthy, though thinking about it right now, I know I talked about that Gundam Wing panel at San Diego Comic-Con, and they did say that the dub would be available on the Bandai channel YouTube, the Gundam Info YouTube, and it is already up there. So if you want to rewatch Gundam Wing, you can watch it for free.
Don't we also have a date for this next season of Primal?
We don't have a date for the next season of Primal.
I could have sworn it's in October.
No, that's when they're gonna show something off. Yeah, we should mention at New York Comic-Con, they will be doing a preview of the next season of Primal, and also the first full dubbed episode of Rooster Fighter.
Ooh.
Yeah, I guess we do have news.
That'll teach us.
There it is.
There it is. And I'm perplexed because, okay, so they're giving us the first full dubbed episode of Rooster Fighter in October, but it's still not going to air until spring of next year? Okay. It's alright, Toonami's pretty fully stocked, and we don't even know how... One Punch Man has a strong possibility of showing up sooner than later, after it airs in October in Japan, and streaming, no doubt, on Hulu, among potentially other places. So, that dub could come to Toonami as early as November to swap out for Dragon Ball Daima. It could.
Would certainly be cool.
I'm not really counting on it, because all the Viz shows seem to have been kind of late to the game lately. Be it Zom 100 or, Bleach, obviously, but that's more of a unique case. Yashihime, that's another excellent case of Viz sent it to everybody. Toonami eventually got it, but it wasn't particularly timely. But we'll see. Maybe with One Punch Man they have, a more locked in contract already. Who could say? We'll find out. But until then, we got more Bleach, more Blue Exorcist. Don to Don's just getting started, and we still got a little more than half of Dragon Ball Daima, even though it's just 20 episodes total. Good stuff. And speaking of Dragon Ball Daima, we're having a little experiment this time, folks. I'm gonna let Laser do the recaps.
Ooh, this would be exciting. So, yeah, episode 8, Tamagami. Tamagami number 3 has a big hammer, and he asks if they came for the Dragon Balls while he's doing a dramatic pose like a Power Ranger, including a Power Ranger-style explosion behind him, because, that's just what you do. Goku says he sure did, and the fight begins. Tamagami 3 keeps whacking at him, but he can't hit Goku. Goku counterattacks with his power pull, but Tamagami 3 throws his hammer at Goku, and it arcs back like Mjolnir from Thor, with Goku riding on it. That's not the Flying Nimbus Goku. Goku runs up to Kamen number 3's arm, just like he Sonic the Hedgehog on an Eggman machine, but it's forced to jump off when the Tamagami attempts to punch him. This ends up with Goku on the short side of the hammer and is nearly whacked into the ground before he hops off at the last second. Goku then uses his power pull to trip the Tamagami to the ground. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Goku then whacks the Tamagami over the head with a power pull. But despite a very impressive metal-on-metal clang, it doesn't appear to be very effective. For his efforts, Goku is punched by the Tamagami, but he is able to take control of his fall by somersaulting off of the machine's fist. Tamagami number 3 tells Goku he's impressed while he's charging at him. Goku reciprocates the compliment as he charges back at him. So wholesome, just watching Goku fight and being, genuine. Tamagami number 3 swings his hammer down, but it is blocked by Goku's power pull, whose top tip pushes up against the hammer. They push each other back and forth and continue to clash. Pansy meanwhile is surprised and delighted that Goku's actually able to put up a fight against the Tamagami. This is unheard of. A crowd is also kind of appearing around the whole fight. Supreme Kai comments that Goku is a genuine prodigy, and comments that Goku's already acclimated to 13 World's thick air in a mere few days. Glorio is just in disbelief, and perhaps annoyed, because he just kind of goes, in response. The fight escalates further as Tamagami number 3 pushes Goku in the air against the longer side of the hammer. It kind of looks like he's going for a ride there. This fight is just amazing. I'm not going to go into this much detail into every fight I ever talk about with Dragon Ball Daima. Not even ones in later episodes, but this fight, this one-on-one fight, is just visually stunning. Goku uses his power pull between two mountains to rebound against Tamagami number 3. This is a feast for the eyes. Tamagami number 3 throws his hammer at Goku and is able to keep pushing it using the power from his hand. Despite the growing intensity of the push, Goku attempts to push the hammer aside with his power pull, but he just can't quite do it on his own. So, of course, he turns Super Saiyan. With that, he's easily able to escape, but the Tamagami flips the hammer around and speeds it back at him. But Goku evades it with ease and breaks the handle off of the hammer with his power pull and shoves the hammer heavy part into the ground where it embeds itself into rocky terrain. Super Saiyan's no joke. We all joke about power scaling, but this just goes to show that even Super Saiyan 1, if you're not up against, the gods, is actually pretty ridiculous all on its own. Just a nice little reminder of that. Pansy is shocked, wondering what Goku is doing as he pulls the power pull away and makes a combat pose. Asking the Tamagami if he's ready to do this for real. Tamagami number 3 agrees, and we get a dramatic pan of both of them readying for an attack. Tamagami number 3 launches into the air with his fist raised in an attempt to punch Goku. But Goku blocks the punch in midair with both of his hands. Goku counterattacks by punching the Tamagami back down to the ground. Each pepper the other with ki blast, punches, and kicks in an impressive fight animation. Tamagami number 3 infuses the ground with a ki blast so the energy's coming out of the ground itself. So Goku's about done with that, and he uses the Kamehameha. Tamagami number 3 struggles mightily against Goku's signature attack, eventually tossing the beam into the sky where it explodes, but this leaves him wide open, and Goku takes full advantage with a massive body blow, ending the fight. Tamagami number 3 concedes while he could keep fighting. The outcome is not in denial. Before he wins the Dragon Ball, however, Goku must defeat the Tamagami in a final battle, but not of the combat variety. The rather large onlooking crowd is in shock because no one's seen anything like this before. No one's ever gotten this far. The final battle is a game of shuffling cups. The Dragon Balls place under one, and they are being moved around very rapidly. And eventually, Goku's going to have to pick the correct cup that the Dragon Ball is underneath. The shuffling starts slow, but it quickly goes to, Dragon Ball speed. But Goku never loses focus. Pansy says that that's cheating, and asks Supreme Kai if he knows where it is, to which he admits, though he was able to keep up for a few moves, he eventually lost track. Goku says it's not under any of them, and he points to a Dragon Ball, which has been hurled away and is kind of hanging out by the crowd. Goku wins the Dragon Ball, which is floated back towards him by Tamagami number 3, who then goes on to repair his hammer and tells Goku he liked him for fighting fairly and courageously, and wishes him luck on obtaining the other Dragon Balls. The crowd goes wild. As the group are heading out, Gloria messages Dr. Arinsu that they have the first Dragon Ball. Dr. Arinsu is pleased and tells him to keep it up. And she says it's time for her main plan to go into motion. Dun, dun, dun! The crew take off in the ship with cheers from the villagers. Even Tamagami number 3 waves goodbye. Pansy can't believe how strong Goku is. She comments that he can even use magic. Goku's confused as he doesn't use magic, but Pansy sees his Super Saiyan transformation and Ki Blast as being like magic. Goku says he never thought of it that way, but he can't really argue with it. But he's hungry. Because of course Goku is hungry. Goku is always hungry. It's like the Hulk. Hulk's always angry, Goku's always hungry. It's just kind of how that works. Supreme Kai asks Gloria where they're going next. He says the second Demon World to get the next Dragon Ball, but if they want to get back to Sir Warp without being discovered, they'll need to stay between the land and the sea level. Pansy says it'll be a while before the Gendarmerie will catch up, but Gloria points out how many people just saw Goku beat a Tamagami. They're not going to be able to lay low. Pansy reluctantly agrees that that's an issue. Meanwhile, back with the problem children, Goma and Degasu watch video of the Majin Buu fight between Goku and Majin Buu, and they see Dr. Arinsu was actually there, collecting some pieces of Majin Buu after one of the times he got blown into pieces. They wonder why she was there and what she was up to. No doubt Dabura had told her about what was going on, and so she was there. We switch to Dr. Arinsu in the Demon World, who is meeting with a witch named Marba, who is using a cauldron and asks her if there's any developments. Or rather, she asks Marba if there's any developments. I swear, I can talk to you guys. Marba says that the dollop of Majin Buu was exactly what she needed to tie these flavors together. Whatever that means. The brew is done and they head outside. Dr. Arinsu says she doesn't need a Majin she can take in a fight this time. Marba says there's no telling until it's cooked, but she believes this one's going to be better with Majin Buu's essence being a part of the mix. Dr. Arinsu is annoyed at Marba's uncertainty, given that she's the one that created Majin Buu in the first place. Which is rather curious considering that until now, the creator of Majin Buu has been assumed to have been Bibbidi, Bobbidi's ancestor. Well, there goes the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo pun. But even the show, it doesn't... Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I just laughed.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. I was just laughing.
Oh, yeah. Marba herself even says that this is a silly notion because everyone knows that Bibbidi made Majin Buu. But Dr. Arinsu clarifies that Bibbidi merely contracted Marba to do the work for him as he lacked the ability to make it. Nice save, Daima. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo has been saved. Arinsu comments that this was due to Majin Buu's chaos in the Demon World, and that the rest of the Glins had fled to the Demon World because of that. Marba says that Buu isn't the result she could hope to replicate, and that even if she could, he couldn't really be called a success because he was uncontrollable. Marba's making a more controllable Majin this time, but she requires some of Arinsu's saliva so that the Majin can be easier to communicate with and be controlled easier. Arinsu says Marba will be rewarded if her efforts bear fruit. Marba warns that while Goma seems silly, he is indeed quite powerful and should not be underestimated. Dr. Arinsu says if things go awry, she'll just use the Dragon Balls. This takes Marba by surprise because that's impossible. No one's getting those Dragon Balls. But Arinsu says she's already got her pawns in play getting them, and they've got one already. Meanwhile, the man, the myth, the legend Hybis answers a call from King Kadan, who informs everyone that Goku has defeated a Tamagami and that his palace is partying. They tell Hybis to meet them at Sir Warp. To meet, rather, Goku and friends at Sir Warp. Hydas wants wine at a feast, and it is actually granted. They get to stay at a hotel to wait. Hydas likes mud-colored wine, apparently. Bulma asks him what that tastes like. Of course, Bulma hears, "Oh, wine!" Bulma's like, "Ooh, I'd like some of that." Well, mud-colored wine is apparently mud-forward. Bulma doesn't like that. Vegeta asks Hydas if the Demon World has its own set of Dragon Balls, and he doesn't quite know what to make of that question, because he doesn't know other sets exist. Vegeta keeps demanding answers to questions. Eventually, Hydas is just not answering. Vegeta basically finds out, yeah, you're demanding stuff of me. I'm not really going to answer that anymore. So Vegeta is forced to apologize to keep getting information. Bulma laughs her ass off. It's beautiful. And that is the end of that episode. Episode 9, Thieves, picks up with Pansy wanting to know how long it's going to take them to get to Sir Warp. Gloria says it might be a good time for them to take a break. Supreme Kai suggests they go camp out somewhere out of the way so they don't get seen. But Pansy's not having any of that. She wants a bed and a bathroom. She puts a little pink bear hat on Goku and says that no one's going to recognize him like that. And it's true. Gloria even agrees. So Pansy's happy they get to have a hotel. They land at that inn. Gloria suggests that the red stick, aka the power pole, stands out too much and should be left in the plane. Supreme Kai agrees to this, but also says the Dragon Ball shouldn't be out in the open either. But Pansy's got your back. She's got a nice bag that it'll fit right on in. It's a nice round bag. They are immediately noticed by a fellow patron or local, hard to say which, a very shady-looking blue individual. Gloria's going for one large room to avoid going out. They're also going to get room service. Pansy says that they're very lucky that Gloria's got the kind of money to throw around to get all of this. This is surprising because Supreme Kai was under the impression that King Kadam was paying for everything since, he's the one that hired Gloria. But Pansy says that her father is a complete tightwad who won't pay him for more than he has to. Especially before Goma is dealt with. Although apparently he will still throw a party in his palace after the first Dragon Ball is taken. Meanwhile, Goku is itching under his bear hat. And he pulls it off. Because it's an on-brand move for Goku. He just takes it off. God damn it, Goku. Supreme Kai and Pansy tell him to put it back on, he'll be seen. He says he knows that, but it gets itchy. God damn it, Goku. Of course, they were noticed by the same guy eyeballing them earlier, and he asks if his bird-like accomplice, if he noticed the hair. Yep, they noticed. It matches the hair of the kid who beat a Tamagami, and that he's holding an orb-shaped bag. They smell money. God damn it, Goku. Later, Pansy enters the large room in the bathroom, much happier for having been bathed. She tells Goku to take a bath. Goku wants to know why. Because he stinks. God damn it, Goku. It's turning into a theme. Pansy's unhappy to learn that Goku only has one set of clothes. She offers to let him wear some of her own clothes while his are cleaned, but he says he'd feel weird wearing panties before going to bed. He'd feel weird wearing panties. She says she didn't mean those. God damn it, Goku. But Goku did enjoy his bath and is very happy to see food as soon as he comes out of it. They take their eats and they're eating like crazy until there's a commotion outside. There's a werewolf dude throwing tables. As WWE would say, "Get the tables!" This draws Supreme Kai's attention, and he leaves to check out the commotion. Goku eats casually while watching this table throwing. As soon as the werewolf sees them, he whistles, and the bird guy from earlier smashes the window and steals the Dragon Ball. God damn it, Supreme Kai. I had to make a reference there at that point. Goku flies off in pursuit. Gloria realizes that the werewolf was a diversion, which leads Supreme Kai to realize this was a planned heist. It seems the bird guy got away, but Pansy has their back. She put a tracker on the Dragon Ball. So it's a Dragon Radar without being a Dragon Radar. Very nice. Pansy activates it and points up, telling Goku where to go. Above the inn on a mountain, Werewolf Guy is transformed into the original guy, so the Werewolf Guy was our original sketchy blue dude. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but now it's confirmed. And he meets up with the bird dude. They laugh about how their plan is genius and no one will realize they went straight up. Ha ha ha! Who could possibly see us here? And Goku just floats right on up as they're doing this, and they're looking at the Dragon Ball, how beautiful it is. Oh, this is great! Love this thing! And Goku's just like, yeah, but you can't do anything with all three. And the Bird Bandit, without missing a beat, goes, but it's still worth selling. Someone will buy it. Oh, wait. How did you get here? Goku asks nicely if they'll give it back, because that's just kind of how Goku is. But they're not having any of that. They try to run away. Goku catches them and fights them. And he grabs the Dragon Ball when they drop it. And Glory arrives just around that point to shoot them with a beam that he uses to lasso them and toss them into the sky. Team best/worst bandits is taking off again. But they got the Dragon Ball back. Gloria tells Pansy that it was nice work putting a tracker on that Dragon Ball. Later, Pansy completes a call from her dad and learns that Goku's friends will meet them at Sir Warp. There's talk about leaving, but Pansy nixes it. Goku offers to keep watch as he'd had enough rest on the plane, so they all agree to stay the rest of the night at the inn. At first, Goku's fine, but he quickly finds himself being sleepy and clearly fell asleep because by the time morning comes, he is dead asleep. God damn it, Goku. Everything's fine, though. Nothing was taken. Everything's fine. Supreme Kai even points out that the plane's even still here, to which Gloria says, yeah, they're the only ones crazy enough to steal a Gendamuri plane. That's a good point. They head back towards Sir Warp. It's a day away. Meanwhile, Bulma, Vegeta, and Piccolo's ship has been stolen. Grand Theft Ship seems to just be the name of the show, guys. Hyba says that they got jacked. Vegeta demands an explanation, and Hyba says that probably the guys that Vegeta beat up at the bar last night. God damn it, Vegeta. We see that event where Vegeta is basically threatened by a punk. Something straight out of Star Wars. Something like, he doesn't like you. I don't like you either. Oh, you're a Saiyan, and now we've gotten our asses kicked. Fights back, and yeah, this is not a long fight. Vegeta kicks their butts. Hyba says he can have Pansy and Goku come pick them up. He suggests they can play the zombie game until then. Bulma is just curious enough to ask, what is the zombie game? Well, apparently the zombie game is going into the nearby zombie forest and killing the most zombies. Though getting bit and zombified is, of course, a losing condition. Bulma and Piccolo verbally pass. Hymus is annoyed because it's so fun, though. As the eyeball on Hymus's belt buckle moves around. Bulma asks about that, and Hymus says it was really cool. He found it on a mountain and put it on his belt. Meanwhile, Degasu learns that Goku and his friends are held here and after the Dragon Balls. And he goes to tell Goma, and Goma's just like, let them try. They're not going to get the Dragon Balls. They're going to lose. Degasu informs him that they got the first Dragon Ball yesterday. Goma is shocked. Then upset that it took a whole day for this information to get here, which, you know what? Fair point. If they knew that yesterday, why are you just telling him that today? Degasu apologized because the Gendamuri underestimated the group, which, fair enough, but again, doesn't explain the delay in information. Degasu tells Goma that they are headed to the second Demon World to obtain another. Goma is just absolutely having none of this. His head is getting huge as he's getting mad and yelling at him. Tells him to go do something about it. Degasu whimpers in fear while Goma complains that he should have asked that stupid dragon for the evil third eye first. Yeah, you should have. And then none of these guys would be here because you'd just be doing your Demon World stuff. But no! You had to wish them all young and kidnap the kid. Good job, Goma. Goku and Ko meet with Hybus, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Bulma. Bulma introduces everyone. She and Pansy seem to really stick it off real fast. Pansy is in awe of Piccolo. It's a real Namekian, you guys! Vegeta tells Goku to hurry up and get going, but unfortunately, there's no room for Vegeta, Bulma, and Piccolo, let alone Hybis. Pan says she can call her dad to get them another plane, but it'll be a while, so they'll have to hang out for a while. Goku's immediately ready to move on. The Supreme Kai's a little more apologetic before boarding the plane. Well, that's a situation. Piccolo comments if they'd taken Kibito, they could have all just teleported. Bulma is not happy about this because she is the reason Kibito's not there. Though it does raise a question why Goku can't just do a transmission instead. Which is never addressed. Piccolo comments that it seems Goku has been fixating on testing himself against the Tamagami, and that this is a bad habit of his. God damn it, Goku. Hybis says that they got nothing but time and zombie game. Bulma's still not playing zombie game. The guys who Vegeta beat up appear for payback with new friends to help them. Vegeta asks if they stole their plane to make themselves feel better, and the Thug confirms that this is the case. Vegeta powers up and beats them all very, very easily. It's so beautiful, though. Just watching him go at it, it's so well animated. Piccolo even joins in for the last two. Hype is amazed at how fast it was. He was going to eat 2 bags of snacks, but he only got through 1. That's so cool, you guys. And yeah, the punks are very apologetic now and tells them exactly where the plane is. Meanwhile, Marba and Dr. Arensu are almost done, but they need a Cyberman seed to finish the job. She apparently used to have a lot of them, but she had a lucrative trade to sell them to outsiders, so now she's only got 2 left. I love this sort of thing in Dragon Ball Daima. We're tying in lore. Cybermen come from Demon World, which makes sense. They got those pointy ears. Since they aren't
have pointy ears.
Indeed, and as we all know, everybody from Demon World has pointy ears. Since they aren't sure how this will turn out, they just use some of the brew they've been using with the 1 seed rather than 2. So they got 1 in reserve in case this doesn't quite work out. Marva says the planet, but not too deep, about 5 centimeters, no more, or it'll actually get more powerful, but harder to control. So they're kind of measuring out, how much power and control we want this thing to have. Dr. Anzu does this, she has been instructed. The kettle bubbles, overflows, takes a form, and Majin Ku appears. Dr. Arensu orders Majin Ku to fight Tamagami number 1 and return with the Dragon Ball. Marba is shocked that they're going straight for that right away, but Arensu says if he fails to get that Dragon Ball, he has no reason to exist. Damn, that's gold. Majin Ku says he acknowledges his orders, and the episode fades out into the ending credits.
Boy, this guy sure seems intimidating.
Very scary looking dude. Yeah, very.
But I can't help but feel that the involvement of some Cybermen stuff in there is just gonna make him weaker than Boo.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the look. You can see it in the way he looks. He's got some Cybermen in him there.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of a ugly design.
It kind of is. From what I can tell you, Majin Ku, what wins me over for Majin Ku is his personality, not so much his design. Which we'll see soon.
Yeah, you don't get a taste of his personality yet, but once you do, he's pretty fun.
He's fun. But yeah.
Yeah, this show honestly, is Grand Theft Plane.
Grand Theft playing the show, yes.
Always losing to planes. The hat, it's itchy. I don't want to wear it. Goku, you are a grown-ass man.
But it's itchy, you guys. You are aware of the stakes, you dumb. Oh. I love how they immediately tell him, and it's like, yeah, I know, but it's itchy. Oh, okay. If this wasn't, I'd be more mad at. I mean, I'm still mad at him, but it's like, this is so on brand for Goku.
You guys really thought you could stay at a hotel and nothing could happen?
I mean, if they kept his hat on, maybe.
Maybe.
A, need to keep his hat on. B, They should not have left that Dragon Ball unattended when they opened that door.
No, that was a big mistake.
And also, why would you leave it right by the window? There were some choices made at that hotel. You could do it. You could go to that hotel. They did it right by getting the hotel, by getting the large suites. They're all in one place, but getting the food delivered to them so they're not going out. They did all the right things, but then they just couldn't fully commit. They're just close, real close to doing it right.
Luckily for them, there's literally nobody around that could potentially manage to steal from them for long.
Yes. They
might succeed in taking it, but they're not gonna keep it.
They definitely can overpower pretty much everyone here.
Luckily for them, they don't have like a way to the bad guys didn't have a way to like instantly transport it somewhere once they got their hands on it.
That would be a problem.
Well, Kuro,
I didn't watch it.
what? You didn't watch it?
No, I told you I probably wouldn't.
All right.
I haven't seen any of this arc. None of it. So all of this, I was just kind of over my head.
Alas and alack.
Yeah, I mean, I know you said I might enjoy it. It's just I just don't have a lot of interest in Dragon Ball. No offense.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, to each your own. It's a very silly series at this point in particular.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Well, as long as you're
Very
having fun
silly
with
with the occasional jaw-dropping battle.
Yeah, that's about right.
And may I say, I am always going to have you do fight recaps from now on, Laser. That was mwah.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I don't know if I'll do that much detail on something, but a one-on-one fight, I felt like I had to.
Fair. Kind of wish I had you do Fight Girl recaps.
Ooh.
Especially since you would have known any of the wrestling terminology I would not have. But, oh well. Steven, what did you think of these episodes of Dragon Ball Daima?
Fun episodes. Let's see here. I like them. I like the fights. They're fun and they're entertaining to see Kid Goku actually, well, adult Kid Goku actually doing the same stuff that he did in Dragon Ball. It's kind of a refresh take on what he did, so I kind of like that. Interesting with the cup and ball routine. So that was like the real test. I don't know. I mean, it's fun.
Gotta test your body and your mind.
Take. Yeah, interesting take on it. It's like, oh, you hit to fight him, but there's one last challenge. I thought because as a robot, you would think like, okay, they just mix it really fast, but he threw it over his head, so it wasn't even in any of the cups. So he's doing a 3-card Monty type routine with yeah, and it's like, yeah, are
Goku
they really
knew.
supposed to do that? Yeah, Goku knew. He could see. He watched battles, with like high speed.
He was watching it very intensely.
Yeah. And that's fun. Seeing at the end of it, Majin Ku, which is like, oh, just different name. It's going to be different. Trust us. And it's like, okay. Yeah. Like they didn't think about, so they put the Cybermen like DNA in it, and it's like, it's going to change it somehow because they have more control of them. Like, that's really a thing because they didn't have control of Boo. But eventually Boo was won over because he had feelings and human feelings for a dog that died. And it's like, interesting, this one's not going to do that. And oh, wow. They have all the access to everything like in history. And yet, they don't look at what happened with the Cybermen the first time. They don't see any of that. It's like, Are you
To
really
be
looking?
fair,
Are
that's
you
not.
really...
They're using Subman as a base. They're doing a bunch of stuff with it.
Okay. So it's like the body of a Cyberman, but the mind is
They're
different, right?
using it to. They're using it as a template. But they've got a bunch of other monster bits in there, and they've also got Majin Buu in there, and it's kind of like Cell, where you got bits and pieces from a whole bunch of different things.
Making us
So they're
sound
trying to...
so disturbing.
Yeah.
This is some serious Dr. Frankenstein shit.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's a crazy evil witch lady.
True.
She's the witch doctor. She told me what to do.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Not to like nitpick in anything, but I mean, some of the ideas that they were having, going back to making an ultimate monster again, but one they control is like, you want to do it again? You're kind of got like about a couple demons already there that could be powerful enough to take them on, but you want to do it again? Fine. We'll see where this goes. It's probably not going to end well, like most Dragon Ball things, but eventually, they won't figure it out until the end. Like, they shouldn't have put that Cyberman in there, but that's where they can start it again. But yeah, overall, a good 2 episodes.
Yeah, I really like both the fight with the first Tamagami and also the cup game. I was like, oh, this is fun. Really making Goku work for it,
Oh yeah.
And Goku surprises everyone by, outsmarting the Tamagami. Because I mean, you see Goku trying to do a battle of wits, and you're probably thinking, oh no, Goku's definitely going to fail this. But no, because it mainly involves following something with his eyes, which he's perfectly capable of doing. But I just love how nonchalant he is. Like, it's not in any of those. You threw it over there. And then some guy looks up and is like, what? The Dragon Ball's over my head? What?
What?
Like, none of them
Didn't even-
behind him seen that.
Yeah, nobody's noticing. Everybody's too fixated, I guess. But yeah, that was a cool fight. Definitely a cool fight. Goku trying to fly on the hammer. Come on.
He tried.
It would have been
Like-
cool if he had grabbed the hammer and like hit him over the head like he hit Gregory.
Oh,
yeah,
that
yeah.
would have been fun.
Just a little
Yeah.
nod to that. Especially if he said, "You're not the first bug I've smashed."
Didn't he used
Yeah,
to
but-
fly with a giant like log or something that he used to like throw? in the
You're
air
thinking
or
of Tal
something?
Pai Pai.
Yeah.
Tal Pai
Okay.
Pai would take any log-like object, including pillars of buildings, whatever, just throw them,
Yep.
jump on it, and go across. That's a Tal Pai Pai thing. Goku had
That's also a mash type of thing.
It is. Goku had flying Nimbus, the yellow cloud,
Yeah,
before he flew on his
until
own.
he could fly
yeah,
by his own power. He used flying Nimbus, which, mind you, only works for pure-hearted souls. So I guess Goku's still pure. Oh no, wait,
Even though
he didn't.
he-
He didn't use it. He didn't.
That's true. He just flew around.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say he did ask if he could.
continues.
He did think that he was being asked to use panties. So yeah. Damn it, Goku.
Ah, jeez, Goku. It's very mud forward. What does that even mean?
Who knows?
Mud
Hybus
wine.
is something, man.
Hybus.
Archangel's favorite
Hybus is-
character, in case anyone's wondering.
Hybus is the MVP.
He is.
Yes, he is. MVP might not be the right term, but you'll understand by the end.
It's sort of like saying that Yajirobe's the MVP.
Yeah. Kind of, though for a very different reason.
Yes.
Well, yeah. A couple of fun episodes of Dragon Ball Daima, which was the warm-up. Because, oh boy, these episodes of Bleach.
Oh, man.
I'm sure for a long time, Bleach readers, viewers were very curious about Ichigo's mother. And we finally find out everything about her. So, episode 11, Everything But the Rain. Ichigo just got kicked out, and Nemaya tells Renji that he forged every Zanpakuto, including Kenpachi's, which was just recently not necessarily awakened, but finally communicated to, which was taken from a dead Soul Reaper. He took an Asuuchi off a dead Soul Reaper, and that became his Zanpakuto. However, Ichigo's Zanpakuto wasn't one of the Asuuchi that was forged by Nemaya, which meant that the training that he was trying to put him and Renji through was never going to work for Ichigo. And that is why he sent Ichigo packing to go learn more about himself. I guess it just works out that that's exactly what's about to happen. Ichigo arrives back home where his father calls out to him, but he runs away to Ikumi Unagiya's place.
Who is this woman? Because I had no idea who she was. This is what happens when you miss a huge chunk of the show.
She doesn't get introduced until Fullbring, yeah?
Yeah,
I think that's right. Yeah,
I haven't gotten there yet. So
it's actually kind of weird to me that she's like, ever since you were hired by me, I've been like an older sister to you. It's like, and how long has that actually been, Ikumi?
Not that long.
Not real long.
Who is this bitch? What is she talking about? I don't know who you are.
Like, older sister? What?
Why are he showering at your house? I'm very confused.
It's just he doesn't want to face any of his friends or anybody who really knows about the situation.
I figured that part out. I just didn't know what his relationship with her was.
She's his boss.
Yeah, she's his boss, and sometimes he crashes at her place or evidently gets a shower. I suppose after what he's been through, yeah, I'd want a shower too.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
He's been fighting for like 3 days straight. So, yeah, makes sense. But there's a knock on the door as she's confronting him, being like, hey, you know, I'm not mad at you for not showing up for work or coming here out of the blue. You know, you can tell me anything. But there's a knock on the door interrupting them. She does the reverse Kabadan on him. Shout out to the social media person who made that joke. Was it you or Brittany?
No, that was me.
All right. I thought it was you because it was the earlier part of the block. Actually, Bleach is pretty late in the block now, huh? But it's still the first half. Right. So, knock at the door. She goes to check. He's like, what? Is this a prank? But no. Suddenly, Ichigo is confronted by his father in Soul Reaper form. So, he could kind of guess that things are about to get serious. So, he leaves.
And that's the first time we've seen that, right? It's the first time I saw it. I've seen it.
I think so.
Oh,
I think this is the first time Ichigo's seen his dad in Soul Reaper form.
Like, using Soul Reaper abilities.
When he did his Dongai training at the end of the Aizen War, I think that's where he first saw it.
Which I haven't finished. So, yeah,
well, there
this
you
is
go.
the first time for me.
This is why it's very good that Laser's here, because he can fill in all the gaps that I don't remember.
Yeah, and now...
Like, when he was training for just before he fought Aizen, that's where that
all
first
understand my confusion.
It's totally understandable.
Really need to finish that arc.
It would be advisable. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I know what I'm doing this week.
It's getting to be more and more important, I suppose. Yeah. So right. Where was I? So he
Ishin.
shows up in his Soul Reaper form to take Ichigo home, and Ichigo does leave, and he leaves his badge behind. Maybe not knowingly did so, but he did. And Ikumi notices, tries to run after him. He's like, well, I guess I could wait until morning. So back at home, Ishin tells Ichigo that Urohara informed him of what's going on and understands he's been kicked out of Soul Society, and he knows exactly why. And that he's not actually a Soul Reaper, but he's also not a normal human. And after prefacing that they've agreed long ago that Ishin would wait until the right time to tell Ichigo everything about his mother Masaki, Ishin says it's finally time to tell him how he met his mother. So nearly 20 years ago, as captain of Squad 10 above Hitsugaya and Rangiku, and he's shown to be plenty lax in his duties, Ishin Chiba investigates the Soul Reaper deaths in Naraki City. I want to note his last name. Chiba. Chiba. So, like, Ganju Chiba.
Or
Yes.
Shiba Inu.
Yes. And gosh, why does her name escape me? Kukaku Chiba.
Yes. Also Kaien Shiba.
Yes.
You completely lost me.
Kaien Shiba was Rukia's friend who died.
Mm-hmm.
Who then was turned into a hollow and used against her.
So you're saying that there are some Ichigo's cousins.
He looked a lot like
Ichigo,
but the hair was black.
Yeah.
Well, his father's hair is black.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I think all of the Chiba's hairs are black.
So they're cousins wandering around the Soul Society.
Yes.
Yes.
Does he know that they're his cousins?
I think he might know that.
Unclear at this point whether Ichigo knows that or not. Although there was a comment from Kukaku when they sent them all flying into the heights that her brother wouldn't forgive her if she did it wrong. So I think she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't mention anything about it then because I'm like, not the time for it yet.
I told you I'm gonna have a lot of questions.
Wait. Is but they are related in some way.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, those dastardly doers, Aizen, Gin Ichimaru, and Kaname Tosen, were performing holification experiments. You know, like the ones that created the Arrancar. And when Aizen arrives, Kaname notes that they have given a hollow the ability to holify a target, but none of them have survived the process thus far. Aizen denotes that they will continue the experiments and flush out Shinji, Hirako, and the others, which I presume are all the other Arrancars. And he tells Gin and Kaname to take their time. Everything is going as planned.
Wait,
I hate that
so
guy.
time out. Yeah,
hate
so
that guy
time
so
out.
much.
This sequence is after the sequence where he was experimenting on the Soul Reapers and holifying them, and then they had to defect, or not defect, but they had to live in exile. That's already happened at the point of this little cameo of Aizen doing his dastardly thing, right?
No. This is 20 years ago. This is before Ichigo becomes a Soul Reaper. This is before Aizen's cover is blown.
No. I'm not talking about the modern one. No, I'm talking about when Aizen was when he experimented on the Soul Reapers and made them that holified form, and they had to exile themselves. That group of
Oh yeah,
The
well that's
visor.
Shinji Hirako and the others.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's already happened.
Oh,
at the
the
moment of
Wizard, not the
this.
Arankars. I'm mixing those up.
Not the Iran cars. No. That's
Yeah.
already happened.
Arankar's like the second batch.
I'm pretty sure the
Okay.
visor did either already happened or happened shortly after this.
Because
Hmm.
it doesn't make sense that it happens after it, given that what happens next, you get someone else comes and then, will go
Actually,
on
no, it
that.
had to have been after because Urahara's already down on Earth, so it has to be after. You're right.
Right, yeah.
No,
Uehara's already been
yeah.
exiled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Alright.
The Visored storyline has the Turn Back the Pendulum episodes predate this.
They really need to be clear about the timeline with these because they do these flashbacks and they don't give you like any sense of when they occur. You just
You're
have to
right. I
use
agree with
context
you.
clues. You have to use
Hmm.
context clues, and I'm fine doing that, but it is really annoying. I need tangible timelines, people. I need 500 years, 200 years, 50 years, 20 years. I need timelines.
Well,
And
they
I
did
need them
say
on the
20 years,
screen.
but that doesn't really tell you anything else.
No, I need them on the screen, and I need to know in relation to what else has happened.
If I
I
remember
think-
right, Turn Back the Pendulum did say how many years it was there as well, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. And I also feel like Aizen saying, they're still trying to find Shinji Hirako and the others is the context clue that this happened after Turn Back the Pendulum. But still, definitely could have used more.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Just didn't feel like doing so, I guess. Right. So that's going on. That's as we will come to understand, these holification experiments tie into why Soul Reapers are dying in Naruki City. But Ishin doesn't know that yet. Ishin is surprised that Ishin surprises a few Soul Reapers on patrol who were talking about how it was raining last time one of their comrades died. And when they ask him why he's there, he's all like, "Oh, yeah, I was just looking for a bathroom." But they see right through his lies because it's noted he's never been good at lying. And he goes on to say that if it does rain, then the other two should go home because he could never piss with an audience. Thank you, Ishin. Thank you for that visual. Now, Masaki is an Ect Quincy raised by Soken Ishida's family and continues to be a disappointment to Izumi Ishida, Ryuken's mother, who has very high expectations for her.
Yeah, so
Ryuken,
Ishida, as in our other friend Ishida, as in Ishigo's friend, who's an Ishida. Quincy
Ishida's
as
the
well?
family name. Uryu
Yeah.
is.
So
Ryuken
Uryu
is Uryu's
his father.
son. Yeah, Ryuken's
Yeah.
Uryu's father.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, whoa.
Again,
so
20 years
they're
ago.
cousins too. Wait, so they're cousins too?
Yes, in a manner.
Do they know that they're cousins? I mean, obviously
Not
Ishigo
not
didn't
yet.
know. Did Uryu know that he was a cousin?
No, definitely
Nope.
not.
Not yet.
Okay. Go on.
Not yet. Can you please stop interrupting me?
I'm sorry. I just have questions.
All right, that is fair. There are many questions to be asked.
Although I'd argue Ryuken knew.
Yeah. Oh, yes. He did, but
Obviously.
why would he say?
Well, that man is unhelpful as hell, so.
Glad you're getting
Yeah.
along with your cousin, kid.
Imagine.
Sorry. What?
I mean, I feel like Ryuken probably has a stern rules like, don't you dare bring Ichigo Kurosaki over here. He is not permitted into this house.
He
And
was very clear to stay away from Soul Reapers.
And
There's
Uryu's all
that.
like, I wouldn't bring him over there anyway. Jeez, Dad, leave me alone. So yeah, it's very
An
important
excellent
in the Quincy bloodline for for the bloodline to continue with at the highest purity. And Ryukin and Masaki are both ex-Quincy's, which is like the pure breed best Quincy's. So naturally, he expects that he's going to marry Masaki someday to continue the Quincy bloodline, but he does wonder out loud to the family maid, Kane, could she ever be happy with him? And she notes that that's very kind of him, but he's like, no, it's not out of kindness. It's really just, if she isn't happy, it's gonna make things difficult. But he's probably hiding how much he actually cares about Masaki. And you
I
can
think
pretty
that's
well tell
fair.
already that Kane does not want him to marry Masaki.
She also looks very familiar to me in that.
Doesn't she, though?
Yeah.
Yes.
She has a familiar looking face.
Mm-hmm.
Why, how genetics are strong with these children.
Indeed. I mean, he does look a lot like his father, too. But, yeah.
Yeah, but he's got the chin. The chin is totally his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in attempts to draw out the culprits, Ishin uses some spiritual pressure, hoping that that would, bait the trap. But doesn't work, actually. The Hollow goes after the weaker Soul Reapers, and Ishin soon finds himself confronted by a very intimidating Hollow that's body is entirely black, aside from its white face. And you know what? That mask looks an awful lot like Ichigo's Hollow mask.
I wonder why that is.
Wonder indeed. And as Ishin battles the strange Hollow, he's surprised to find it fights very much like a Soul Reaper, which is more than a little concerning. Meanwhile, Masaki senses that powerful Hollow's presence as well as someone else's spiritual pressure and goes to intervene despite protests from Ryukin. You see, the Quincy MO is to let the Soul Reapers die before actually stepping in and killing the Hollow, and beyond that, it's also the lower standing Quincy's that do the actual fighting. He reminds her that she needs to take care of herself above anything else, because she's an act Quincy. And Masaki tells Ryukin, yeah. Masaki tells him that she does admire him for trying to do what's best for the future of the Quincy's, but taking care of herself means following her own heart and doing whatever she can. Because if she didn't save a life when she could have, she knows her future self would never forgive her. Good on you, Masaki. While battling the strange Hollow, which seems to be getting stronger and smarter, Ishin can't imagine a powerful creature like this would go unnoticed by Soul Society and demands to know who sent the Hollow, but then says, well, obviously you're not going to tell me. And it's right around then, in this battle, that Ishin is wounded by Aizen, Gin, and Kaname, and Ishin immediately realizes he's been struck by a Zanpakuto by another Soul Reaper. But he has no time to contemplate that before the Hollow resumes attacking.
The Hollow looks awfully familiar as well.
Yes. Yes, it does. And now we find out the name of this Hollow, White, as Aizen monologues about the unique abilities this Hollow he calls White. It is encased in an all-black armor, but there is a whiteness inside of it? Okay, you want to rephrase that?
Aizen's been canceled, everyone. He made a Hollow in blackface.
He made a Hollow in whiteface, yes. Yikes.
Oh my god.
Now I get
didn't
canceled.
even get that, and now I can't unthink it.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Well, it was Aizen. He's evil. We knew this.
Ishin's on the ropes when Masaki's arrow draws away White's attention. Aizen wants to stick around to see how this plays out. Masaki's arrows aren't fast enough to hit White, so she draws the Hollow in and allows it to bite her before she fires an arrow, killing it point blank, which unfortunately activates its self-destruct, but Ishin is able to take the blast to protect Masaki. Like, wow, girl, you crazy. It's like, come here, come here, good boy.
They're
Bam!
both crazy. They're both crazy.
They are. They are crazy. They're a
Perfect
couple of
for Joey.
crazies. They really are. Now they're both really injured, and Masaki fears what's going to happen now that she has revealed herself as a Quincy. But Ishin offers no ill will and is astonished that he met a real Quincy, saying he never thought he'd be lucky enough to meet one. Masaki hopes that all the Soul Reapers are like him, and that maybe Soul Reapers and Quincy's can work together in the future. Oh, that's a nice thought, isn't it? That's a nice thought. In the aftermath, Ryukin and Kane see Masaki is safe and head back. Ryukin tells Kane that there's nothing to report to Mother. Kaname is frustrated that the Hollow finally reached a final... Oh gosh, I'm gonna butcher this word. Metastasizing phase?
Metastasizing?
Metastasizing.
Yeah. Finally reaches the final metastasizing phase, only to pass it on to a Quincy. It's like, all that work for nothing. But Aizen can't wait to see what happens next. And back in the present day, after the credits roll, Gesundheit meets Uryu. That's Hashwell. If you haven't listened to that previous podcast where I kept making that joke. Hashwolf, the right-hand man of the Stern Ritters, meets Uryu, which can only be bad.
Yeah. So that Hollow White, who was the Soul Reaper that it came from? Do we ever learn that?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, it's multiple Soul Reapers.
Well, because it's really special. Like it, and he talks about the Soul Reaper that it was born from. So like, that was a person first. What happened to that person? They probably had family. They don't know that they have a great grandbaby out there. Actually, I guess technically is his great grandfather. Sorry.
Oh
in
boy.
A very twisted way.
It actually would have been something if it was the other Shiba, Rukia's friend, right? That would have been something. But obviously it wasn't. That would have been a whole going full circle thing again, but
that
I guess not.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Just doing a quick search. It was created from the souls of several Shinigami or a Soul Reaper.
Right.
So it's not
that is
one
what Aizen
specifically.
said.
It's not one in specific. It's a lot of them.
Yeah, can't help but notice that mask looks awfully familiar.
Yes, it does.
And as soon as it bit her shoulder, I was like, oh dang, are we gonna Batman Beyond this shit?
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Ichigo, we just met your real daddy. Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. On to episode 12. Everything but the rain. June Truth. Ishin gets chewed out by the head captain, but is also commended for preventing further casualties. Now, Creepy Mayuri on the side is like, you should have obtained a sample of the remains of that special hollow. And then Yamamoto asks Ishin if there was possibly anything, any tiny little detail he may have neglected to include in the reports. Obviously he did. But he's not gonna say. Separately, both Ishin and Masaki wonder about the other. Isn't that nice? They just can't stop thinking about each other. Presumably, on a day after school, Masaki's friends are ribbing her about living with the most popular boy in school. And she tries to deflect, but is suddenly overcome with something as she bumps into Mr. Hattenclogs, who can sense there's something concerning about the girl.
Yeah, you could say
Mhm.
that.
Back at the Ishida home, Izumi confronts Masaki when she gets home, and Ryukin rushes over to Kane, demanding to know why she squealed, and the maid says, well, Masaki needs proper Quincy medical treatment or the bloodline will be tainted forever. Okay, yeah, that's a reasonable argument.
Really
But
glad
also,
that's your priority, I guess.
also still seems pretty self-serving, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was my observation as well. This bloodline shit is so creepy. It is so like
Yep.
German coded. It's really
Ugh.
gross. Really, really
Oh,
gross.
it really is. It really is. I even forgot in the previous episode there was a point where Ryukin asked where's his father, and his mother's like, he's at the blah blah blah, and I'm like, what on earth did she just say? That was gibberish.
Yeah.
But I presume it was some German terminology. Yeah, he's never around when he's needed, including right now, but he has been sent for. But Masaki is attempting to choose her words carefully, but she's overcome by something and collapses. Ryukin and Izumi see what looks to be a hollow hole on Masaki, and Izumi demands that Ryukin waits for his father, but flees with Masaki as Izumi cries out for her son to return. And may I note that she says something to the effect of, "Leave that thing alone." I don't like this woman.
No. Neither
I do
do
not.
I.
Not my favorite person either.
Ryukin's having a little pity party for himself as he's drifting through the sky, beating himself up about how he failed to protect Masaki, how he should have intervened the other night and protected her. So he doesn't notice a hollow sneaking up on him, but thankfully, Ishin's around and just offs the hollow. Of course, the two of them start arguing, but Uruhara approaches the two of them and tells them to come with him so that he can show them their choices for how to save her. Masaki drifts deep within her own soul, feeling something calling out to her. And it's like warm, but it's sad and it's lonely and it's a hollow. Holy crap. Very, very disturbing. At his shop, Uruhara says, I've seen something like this before in his over 100 years
Pretty
of
good.
research.
That's a good Urahara.
That wasn't Uruhara. That was supposed to be Skips from regular show.
That too.
And when asked who he is, Uruhara identifies himself as an exile from Soul Society, and I guess that's good enough for the two of them, but Ryukin demands that he makes Masaki normal again, and Uruhara's like, no, I didn't say I can make her normal again. This girl is going through holification, which is a process that was intended to create stronger Soul Reapers, but has always led to the host becoming a mindless monster and self-destructing in a process known as soul suicide. In order to save Masaki, they must take a Soul Reaper and bound them to a Gigai, stripping them of their powers and essentially making them the combination of a human and a Soul Reaper. Then binding the Soul Reaper to her soul and the Hollow using Reishi, and bind them throughout her life and even beyond death, because the holification will pass to her descendants. Now, Uruhara and Ryukin don't think Ishin would ever agree to those terms, because there's really nothing but drawbacks for him. He'd lose his powers, he couldn't go back to Soul Society, his whole life would be upended. But he immediately volunteers. They're like, are you sure? He's like, well, no, I'm not sure, but he says, in words that very much mirror what Masaki said to Ryukin, if he held back and didn't save her when he could have, his future self could never forgive him. And yeah, Ryukin's pretty taken back by this similar conviction that he had. So they begin the procedure. Ishin, in Soul Reaper form, is seen within Masaki's soul, declaring that now that he's here, the Hollow won't be laying a single finger on this girl's soul, and he unleashes a Getsuga Tensho! He didn't do that before.
Nope.
The procedure is a success, and Masaki starts waking up, albeit a bit loopy. Ishida walking home, Ryukin rather, walking home in the rain is found by his maid, who all but confesses her love to him right on the spot.
And they live
Yes.
happily ever after. Ish.
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 Yeah, I think there probably was a time when they were happy.
They
But-
must have loved each other because he was very much into the whole like bloodline thing. So she obviously was a maid. He must have loved her to marry her. You don't think
Maybe.
so?
I don't know. He's always very practical. I think he definitely had feelings for Masaki, and he just knew that he couldn't marry Masaki after what happened to her.
Well, she's also his cousin. So
T-
it's
I believe
questionable
so
to
is the
begin
other
with.
girl. I mean, all them Quincy's are from the same line, so, you know.
Yeah, but the further you get from the grandparent, the less likely it is messed
That's
up.
true.
Yes.
That is true.
Messed up the technical term. That's what the Pope used when he let cousins get married.
Yeah. Anyway, some time passes. Masaki leaves the Ishida family, being as she's now, stuck with this hollow inside of her forever. They don't want her around. Ishin opens his medical clinic and doesn't know enough at first, but gets by. And despite her being busy with college, Masaki finds time to come around and tease him from time to time. Ishin says he never told Masaki what he did for her, but he had a feeling that she always knew. It was like a game. He would lie, she would see through his lies, and forgive him. One time they saw a movie where an old man told a woman he's loved all his life that she was like the sun. Ishin doesn't remember much about the movie besides that line and how much Masaki cried during it. To Ishin, Masaki was like the sun. She attracted everything, forgave everything, illuminated everything, and sent everything spinning in orbit around her. And he was more than happy to be spun around.
Oh, it was so romantic.
Gosh, that's beautiful.
It was.
It's giving
I tried to
Beethoven
get it
More
word for
Beloved
word.
vibes.
Patrick Seitz, what a delivery.
Oh,
Mwah.
man.
What a delivery. And I also really enjoy Jeremy Lay as Masaki. Hey, Jeremy Lay's playing Johnny Young Bosch's mother again.
Eh.
It's happened at least twice. Ishin reveals the reason that Masaki died while fighting the Grand Fisher. Oh wait. I'm getting ahead of myself. So after that, we're kind of back to reality. And Ishin goes on to tell Ichigo that when the hollow in him awakened, Ishin could no longer suppress it, and the bond was broken between his soul and the Gigai and the hollow, and he regained his Soul Reaper powers. And there's really no need to explain to Ichigo things that he's experienced himself, but there was one more thing he should know about his mother's untimely passing that happened on June 17th, this very day, 9 years ago. The reason she died, despite being very capable as an ex-Quincy with incredible defense, so good that she could take down the Grand Fisher without getting a scratch on her. The reason that she died was because on that day, The king of the Quincy's absorbed the powers of several Quincy's he deemed to be impure in order to regain his own strength in a selection process known as Ashvalan. And that is also the reason why Uryu's mother succumbed to her frail condition. Dang, man. Now it's personal.
Also, what a piece of shit. I feel like
Right?
Uryu should know this as well because he's got a lot of reasons to hate this guy. Just like
Yeah,
he did.
I hope he finds out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really hope
What
he
a
does.
son of a bitch. Why do these people follow him? He eats their
Now that
own,
is
like,
the $1 million
mind.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no kidding.
He's absolutely corrupted into a form of self-service. Like he's like a vampire, and they're all like baby vampires. It's actually pretty sickening.
He doesn't value them at all.
Nope.
And he does these things for, like, yeah. Why would you want to work for this guy? I literally don't understand it myself.
And I would argue that now that they're bound to him, it's his own fault because he set off all of this. He set off this war, this nonsense with the Soul Reapers. Like if it weren't for him and his way of running things, they might not be in this position. Like I genuinely don't understand their loyalty to him. He's so utterly corrupt and evil. It kind of blows my mind, and the fact that like they're just willing to let their own people be absorbed. I find it completely bizarre that that's what their normal is.
It is.
Fuck that guy.
Very bizarre.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's Stockholm Syndrome or something else, but their loyalty is disturbing. Anyway. As Ishin was explaining all of this, we see that Ryukin finds the old Quincy book that Uryu took from his study that he left behind after leaving with Gesundheit. In the morning, Ichigo's greeted outside by Yakumi, who's brought his badge. He thanks her and his father and says he has to get going. Oh yeah, our boy is back. He's gonna go unlock his true potential. Or something like that.
Guess who's back?
Back again?
Again.
Ichigo's back? Tell a friend. Okay, well, I was certainly wondering, ever since I became aware that Misaki was a powerful Quincy, I was like, okay, so why'd she die against the Grand Fisher? Well, there we go. There's the answer. And boy, does it make me hate that guy more.
We ain't laughing at Evil Baja anymore.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, we're gonna kill you.
Oh god,
How
he's so
dare he.
hateable.
How dare he? Wow. Oh, what a backstory.
Yeah.
And that certainly explains why Ichigo's got that hollow inside of him.
Sure do.
Man, Taichi Kubo was playing the long game.
It was.
I'll give him props. It's pretty dang compelling.
It's a good story.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I know there's been hints, at least at the point I'm at in the OG Bleach, that Ichigo's sisters have some latent psychic abilities, for lack of a better term. But does this mean that they also would be capable of being fully realized half Soul Reaper Quincy's like he is? Once they reach the age of maturity?
Good question.
That is a very good question that
I
I'll
also
let you
wonder
know
if
the
they got
answer
a little
for.
bit of that hollow inside of them. It's supposed to go to all their descendants. Does it just stop at the firstborn?
Yeah, Urahara did say that he said all the descendants, they're descendants. That And also then, I mean, I guess they'll figure this out over the next couple episodes, but where does the Asauchi then come from? If is it just something inside of him all along? That's
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
very different. It's very, very different than anything else. I'm just very curious how all this is playing out. I mean, you're right about the long game, but I'm
And
curious
I'm
whether
still
Uryu.
wondering why Zangetsu looks so much like Yuaba.
That
I
is
would
a good question.
I would also say that as far as lookalikes go, I saw more of Ishin looking like his son in these episodes than any other time. Like you definitely see he had that
Mm-hmm.
hard expression that Ichigo has, and it was like, oh my gosh, they did a great job making the animation um, mirror like the familial connections. I always appreciate that detail. I also kind of wonder if Uryu read this book, wouldn't he have known about the Auswahlen
Yes, he
ritual as well?
would.
So he might
Yeah, he
actually already
would.
know. He might already know about what happened to his mom.
I will
I don't
not
know if
say
he'd
a
make
word.
that connection.
He
But he also seems like the kind of
he's-
guy that would potentially like understand the necessity of it.
I'm not sure I agree. I think he's principled in his own way.
I
And
hope so.
his time with his friends, like he can't just disregard that and all that he's learned and all that he's become as he becomes a young man about morality just because like, well, you're Quincy, so you have to do this. Like I can imagine like from someone from Urio's perspective, he's coming into a situation where they have these very twisted traditions. Like we're looking at this from the outside and horrified because it's horrifying. So would maybe he would have a very similar reaction like, wow, this is not the legacy that I thought I was a part of. It's actually a terrible legacy. I hope so. I mean, I don't know. He seems pretty devastated in the last moment we see him with Gesundheit. So I'm hoping that he might have maybe this will be his arc of going back and forth from the dark side. Who knows? I just have a feeling, of course, he'll have to struggle through that. Like, obviously, we'll see him. Maybe he'll bounce back and forth. I don't know, but I'd be disappointed if he doesn't figure out that these are not his friends. Yeah.
I hope when he sees Ichigo again, he was like, "Hey, buddy, we're cousins." That's not gonna happen.
No, it is not.
Hey, you cuz.
I'm not going to say much because I know too much, but I can tell you right now that that's not happening.
He knows too much. Kill him.
I do. I know too much. Don't you wait till part 4 hits, then I'm going to know everything.
Why
I
do
see.
these shonen protagonists always lose their moms? Like Naruto lost his mama, and then Ichigo loses his mama. Like, why can't they just have a mom? Or both parents?
It's just a trope.
It's a trope.
It's a
It's
sad
the
one.
same reason, like, Harry Potter doesn't have his parents. It's a longing that creates for the character because they feel missing a piece of their childhood there, and it kind of it's very fun to play off of the storyteller.
Seems a bit cliche, though.
It is, but it's cliche for a reason. It works.
True.
Love the idea of the whole family having this holification ability and them just like all being awesome substitute Soul Reapers one day. Like, oh, you thought you couldn't handle Ichigo? Just wait. There's 2 more, and they're even more extra.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Yeah. Just wait till they start having children.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Also, it begs the question, like, this could have, without the hollow at all, like Soul Reapers and Quincy's.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the future that they need to have peace. Some
Like
some
Masaki
interbreeding.
It's like Misaki said, they could work together and have a brighter future.
Yeah. She got the right idea.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It's a good story. Good backstory. I'm looking forward to what happens next.
Yeah, me too. I really want to see where Ichigo's journey goes from here now that he understands he's part Quincy, part Hollow, part everything.
Part human. And like, does that mean that Ishin now can start doing Soul Reaper things now that he got his powers back?
I guess so. He doesn't really use them much.
Well, he couldn't before.
Well, yeah. But I also wonder, okay, so he said he got his Soul Reaper powers back when Ichigo's Hollow awakened. So does that mean that just the Hollow is just in Ichigo and it's not going anywhere?
That seems to be what it's implying.
Yeah,
he's become
because
one with his Hollow. We went through a whole arc with that.
It's
that one I remember.
That's got to be the case, because otherwise Ishin would still not be able to use his Soul Reaper powers, because there would still be, like maybe some of the Hollow in his daughters, but I guess not. I think it's all inside of Ichigo. There's probably a correlation between the Hollow being named White and the series being Bleach.
Almost certainly.
We finally got to it.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was coming from. Every time I watched the show, I was like, but why the word Bleach?
Well, the in out of universe reason for why Bleach has always been Ichigo's hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I liked the white theory. That was actually.
But Ichigo's hair's natural.
Yes, that's why people assume, because Japanese culture thing and all that. That's why it's a reference. That's what I heard way back in the day, but I mean, who knows?
Yeah. So, Steven, what did you think of these episodes of Bleach?
They were interesting, to say the least. It's weird about, like, they threw a lot of lore, and I'm like, do I have to like watch like all the past Bleach stuff that I like completely forgot about to understand this stuff? And it's like,
you know how I feel.
yeah, it's like having, like, the joke that I was thinking about. It says everything but the rain, but man, it was everything but the bagel seasoning that they throw in all the stuff. And man, did they throw everything on it.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's weird. Aizen thinking that he basically like brought Ichigo's parents together. Like, are you that nuts that you thought you could do that? I don't know, man. That, like, holding that over someone for like 20 something years. Yeah, I'm the reason why you're alive and had your powers, because I ran into him one day. I'm like, dude, you just seen him in the corner and you said don't do anything. You weren't planning that far ahead. You were planning for what you were doing. You weren't that far ahead that you were planning on these two people getting together. He's not a matchmaker. With that, you do have like, I don't know, they drop so much lore. It's like I couldn't even. It's like there's a certain point where it's like you do this and it's like, okay, it makes sense. You can understand it all. And then there's this type where it was like every single thing. We kind of knew that Ichigo's mother was a Quincy. And so that was like hinted on early on, and so you can see that and go from there. Everything else was like, I don't know. It's like then you find out she gets bit and she's like vampire hollow thing. I don't know. And then like they pull down her like shirt and you can see like this thing like she was smoking for 20 years, so they had to like give her like this like um the thing, I don't know, the hollow was like coming out of her and she like gave into it. Dude, I don't know. This episode was interesting, but man, did they drop everything. And I guess there's still more to drop because it's like I don't know. I don't know. I was researching what you were saying, Kuro. Does Ichigo's sisters have any powers? The internet is divided on it. Some say they do. Some say they don't.
I vote yes that they do.
Yeah, it seems like something that. So if Ichigo got most of all of that stuff, they should have got some of it. But since his way of getting that is through a event, they need some type of event, some type of spark to start it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it won't, happen. But yeah, they don't know if they have it. They like to assume that they have it, but they don't know if they have it. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. This was like a lore dump episode, and I'm thinking to myself, do I have to remember any of this? It's like taking a test. Like, do I have to remember
Yes.
any of this? Should I be
Yeah.
writing it down?
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Will I remember all of this stuff? No. As good as the mind that I can remember things and see things once, like most of the time see things once and remember it, like because that's what I do with like anime or movies. I don't have to watch it again because I'll remember most of it. With this episode, I don't know if I was clocked out or something. It's like I don't remember half of this stuff going on and what they were saying. I'm like, dude, you lost me when they started talking about everything. But certain parts were like, I don't know. I don't want to say interesting, but man, I don't know. They lost me. And then when Blue Exorcist came back on, I'm like, okay, I got my attention now. Can we go back to Bleach? Because now I can understand some of it. Yeah, they just dump so much lore on you. It's like, do you really need all of that lore if we're ending in about a couple, what, 1 or 2 episodes? I don't know.
I have a question. Does Aizen know what Ichigo is?
Do you want an answer to that?
Is that like in the arc that I'm watching right now?
I mean, I'm not sure how to answer that either.
That's not helpful. Just because like he knew what happened to Masaki. So
Yeah, you'd think he would have kept better tabs on all this.
yeah, I mean I think he must have. He knows that he's her son, and he knows that who his father is. I feel like that was
I'm
pretty
just gonna
obvious.
say it's a pretty good bet that he knows everything that's going on because it's Aizen. This is the master planner villain. It's kind of what he does.
It just didn't factor into his little world domination scheme during his arc.
Well, I think even he couldn't have imagined the results.
Yeah, there's a specific thing that throws everything on just that I'm not going to talk about because you haven't seen it, but there was a very specific reason why Aizen lost, and there's not
Well,
something that he could have predicted.
yeah, no. So that's been the before all the events that we're at currently. So at the point, what I'm asking is, without giving away like the actual storyline, at the point where, you know, Ichigo clashes with Aizen during that arc, did Aizen indicate that he knows about what Ichigo is? Because he plays
No.
a huge role in how he became that. Like he plays a big role in that. He bears a lot of responsibility.
He very much just kind of played played it up like he was just like, yeah, no, he does say something to the effect that I led you here.
Ichigo, I am your father.
He
Thinking
does say
that.
something to the effect of I led you here if I remember right, but he doesn't
I
really
am
go
your
into detail.
grandfather. I'm gonna keep an eye out
He's
for
just
that.
kind of like I orchestrated everything, ha ha ha, kind of a rant.
Yeah, but he really didn't do that. He's like, yes, Ichigo, I planned your life. I did it all. I'm like, dude, it's like he takes credit for every single thing, which he's like he held on to that to gloat like to Ichigo that he's the matchmaker for getting his parents together. It's like the guy who passed the group assignment in like school because he happened to be in the group where the other two people did their work. It's like, yeah, dude, you really? We did the work and you're sitting there like, yep, I got the A, man. I was in it. It's like, no. No.
So do you think, Sketch? You really think Kenpachi's got some Quincy in him too?
Huh? I don't think Kenpachi has Quincy
I
in
thought
him.
you said he looked like him.
No, Zangetsu.
Oh, okay.
Old man
Ichi-
Zangetsu.
Old man Zangetsu. Ichigo's Zanpakuto.
Zanpakuto spirit, yeah. He does look a lot like Yoba. Sounds
I
like
don't know
him
why
too.
I got Kenpachi. I don't know where I came that.
Yeah, it does sound like him too.
There might be a reason for that.
I feel like his facial hair is a lot sexier than the creepy Nazi guy.
Well, true. True. Alright. Well, I think that was a very good discussion. I mean, gosh, it's a lot to take in.
It really is.
Kind of
do
wish
have
we
one more
had a
thought.
bit more time to marinate on it, but go ahead, Kuro.
Yeah, before we move on, this arc really made me think hard about how often these Japanese anime put like code in like blood strength and like pure blood and all that other jazz in the storyline. Like if there's something sacred about these lines or these families, and they have to maintain that through marriages, and like I see it constantly showing up in shows, and it actually makes me wonder a little bit like what is going on culturally over there that this is so important.
I mean, you
or
see
so
that in some
normal.
Western media too, like Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Bloodlines is quite a bit common trope for storytelling.
The difference is with Lord of the Rings, the bloodlines are tracked. There is no effort to secure a certain purity level. It's more that they keep track of who's son and who's
That's
their
true.
father.
That's
was
true in
never-
Star Wars as well.
And that was never anything like Tolkien only did that because that was a tradition that came out of a lot of Anglo-Saxon literature.
I misunderstood what you were getting at. You're getting at the
No.
organized marriage stuff.
I'm more getting at like there's the implication of like these certain bloodlines and the purity. Like we made a joke about the Nazi hints in that, but I think it's so much more sinister than that. That this is so culturally embedded that it's showed up in all these different shows. It's just like why
It's never presented as a good thing, to be fair. It's always presented that this is a really screwed up thing that we're doing.
Just a few steps away from xenophobia.
It is. There's something about this like this purity concept that just really really rubs me wrong. I just find it absolutely icky because there's no proof. I mean, and then to the credit of what you're saying, Laser, all of the heroes come from deviations of this, but then they also contain some element of the quote pure bloodline. Like that's how they're powerful. I just feel like it's something culturally that they can't escape, that they keep adding it into shows.
I think
really
a
wanted to
lot of
understand
anime, it's actually it's a criticism of it because the people who are doing it are not the good people.
Yeah.
It's
I'd
very
like
much,
to
and
understand it a little
you
better,
can look at
that's
something
the
like
thing.
Dragon Ball with the royal Vegeta's royal family. gets beaten by a random common dude.
Mhm.
I would also say that it happens to do. So I'm just some total random white guy just talking on the internet on a podcast. So don't take
Mhm.
anything I say with like my 2 cents. You couldn't buy anything with it anyway. Aside from that, I would say it also has to do with like how you would see in like anime, like the old school thing saying, "Hey, I'm Ichigo. I was born on May 19th and my blood type is B." It's that type of thing of like, oh, you're distinguished by what blood type you are,
Yeah,
you're
that's a big thing in
under a
Japan.
kind of like lucky star if you're this blood type or that blood type, or if you have nothing wrong with you. And it's like, oh, and that thing still perpetuates, I can't say that word. It still goes on from from now on, I would say. You see it every so often when they start randomly putting up there that, hey, this person's blood type was B, or it's in like video games as well. It's like, why do we need to know that? That's kind of weird. And it's like in our Western world, our closed mindedness and everything else that we have over here. Um, it is strange and weird, but I mean, we read horoscopes that are like, giving like generalized statements out, where maybe they don't do that over there. So I kind of think I do say it's that sinister. You see that undertone of like, okay, if thinking all these blood types over here and all of these blood types over there, and it's like you're trying to like segregate these people and saying, oh, these ones are more pure than the other ones. I can see that happening, and going towards that way, but not saying that, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of say I think that it's like there is some quality to doing that because of what they believe in and what they want. And yes, Kuro, there is a sinister undertale to that to say, okay, and you know, that's why these like ex Quincy's, these, German whatever dudes, whatever their names are, the Gazoon type people or whatever, they're like, oh, these are the better ones because they have this running through their veins and they got blue, what are they
That's
called?
the part that gets
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
The sense of
yeah,
that you're somehow better than
yeah,
other
yeah,
people
and it's
because of
like,
it. And I don't want to
in
disrespect anyone's culture. I just
no,
it feels off to me and I'd like to understand it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the same. It's the same with me. It's like it does feel weird once you turn that corner of like making a blood type kind of thing of saying, okay, you're born under this lucky star because you have a better blood type. But then once it turns into this thing of like, you are better because you have this blood type in you because that makes you more pure, and there's other people that validate you because of that. That's when it turns into the sinister thing of like, okay, you're nuts, not nuts, but I mean, you're this thing of like, we're trying to segregate you into this certain group, and other ones are not as privileged or not as, they can't be
Yeah.
there because of that. And so I I don't know. I wouldn't say that it's going that way. I mean, with Bleach and with that certain group, that's what they were doing with it, and that's the allusions they want to make to everything that happened in World War II and everything else like that and stuff. If they want to make those allusions to it, but it is strange and it is weird. So I will validate that, but there might be some other correlations with that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
All right.
what else is there to be said?
You can wrap it up
Indeed, I
now.
think that's
My apologies.
No. I mean, it's a reasonable observation to have. It's just a little difficult to have that conversation without, really questioning the cultural differences and all of that. But okay, I believe that will do it for this episode of the Toonami Faithful Podcast. You can email us at podcast@toonamifaithful.com, follow us on facebook.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast, and on Twitter @Toonami Podcast. You can listen to the podcast on just about everything, including Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Overcast, Podbay, Podbean, Podcast Addict, Radio.com, Spotify, and the TuneIn app. You can find every episode of the podcast to stream online at the same place they found the encrypted clinical trials on Lazarus, SoundCloud.com/Toonami Faithful Podcast. And get the latest news by following @ToonamiFaithful.com on Blue Sky and @Toonami News on Twitter. And read the news, views, and reviews on ToonamiFaithful.com. Steven, tell the folks where they can find you.
You can find me on X at MXAGOS, Blue Sky, same thing. It's whatever you can find MXAGOS. You can also find me spouting my 2 cents that no one needs to hear on my Twitch whenever I stream that stuff. I didn't do it last week because I'm trying to fix my computer. So I'm doing it this week, and hopefully the computer works.
Hopefully. I was having some computer trouble earlier today, and I was starting to get concerned.
Oof.
But it's okay. It's working well enough. Laser, tell the folks where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on Twitter @LaserKidPrime. You can find me on Blue Sky @LaserKid. And you can find me on my podcast, Simulub Saints, @Simulub Saints on Blue Sky and Twitter, and Simulub Saints on YouTube, where it's primarily at, and on Spotify podcasts.
All right. Kuro, tell the folks where they can find you.
I'm on Blue Sky, and I am on Twitter, which I forgot for a second, @HappyKuroKitty on both. And that's it, pretty much. Where can I find you, Sketch?
You can find me on Twitter at Sketch1984, and also Blue Sky, look up Sketch1984. And next week, we'll be talking about the final episode of Blue Exorcist Kyoto Saga, as well as the first episode of the next arc, which Toonami did make a promo for.
Ooh.
Probably should have mentioned that sooner. My bad. But there you go. I mentioned it. It's a good promo. I think it has done a sufficient job at hyping up what is coming. But I suppose people who have already seen it might be better judges of that. Either of you see the promo?
What'd you
I
think
did
of the
not.
promo? It's a good
well.
promo.
Yeah, it's a good promo.
I want to be careful, I just get so excited.
There's much danger for us in this arc, yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm in danger.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was a good promo. I'm just glad that they even did a promo because honestly, they didn't have to. It's really nice that they did.
I
They
feel
don't
like we've been
always
getting a
do
lot
art
of
promos.
niceties lately, which I really appreciate.
It was good.
Yeah.
They're promoting. I think it's good to promote that they're getting the next arc and it is a newer arc. I think that was smart and they should have done it. So I'm glad they did it.
Don't know if they'll do the same thing for Bleach, but I guess we'll find out next week. Because there's one episode left of this arc, and then we're on to the next one. Very exciting.
1,000-Year Blood War is a 4-core adventure. Well, 3 right now, but 4's coming next year.
And though we can't hardly wait to talk about the episode of Dawn to Dawn that aired this past Saturday, we will be talking about it next time. Along with the episode that airs after that. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, yes. Dawn to Dawn's always a fun time.
Mm-hmm. So with that, thank you for listening, whether you tuned in during the live stream or you're listening after the fact as the podcast. We always appreciate your listenership. Be sure to show the podcast to your friends if you think they'd be interested. And until next time, Bloodlines be crazy, right?
Oh my god, the Tamagami went under the and got a sledgehammer. He got a sledgehammer from out under the ring. Oh god, he's going at Goku. Oh, but Goku's got a steel chair.